In a dramatic escalation, a nuclear submarine from the United States was reported missing in the Arctic Ocean this morning, raising alarms about potential geopolitical tensions. Here is what we know about the situation and its far-reaching implications. As the search for the USS Virginia continues, the situation remains highly fluid and fraught with potential consequences. The USS Virginia, a cutting-edge submarine belonging to the U.S. Navy, vanished during a routine patrol in the Arctic, a region increasingly contested by global powers due to its strategic importance and vast natural resources. Historically, the Arctic has been viewed as a remote frontier, but climate change is opening new shipping routes and resource opportunities, making it a focal point for military expansion. The first potential outcome involves a successful recovery of the submarine within days. This would likely alleviate immediate tensions, but could lead to intense scrutiny over existing security protocols and operational readiness in such critical areas. Conversely, if the submarine is found damaged or if there are casualties, it could prompt military retaliation or heightened confrontations with Russia, which has significantly bolstered its military presence in the Arctic in recent years. Experts suggest that a recovery with significant damage could escalate military tensions, potentially leading to a new Cold War-like atmosphere. Analysts are particularly concerned about NATO's collective response and the broader implications for U.S.-Russia relations, which have been strained by various geopolitical conflicts. In response, the U.S. government is expected to issue a statement reaffirming its commitment to safeguarding its Arctic assets, signaling to both allies and adversaries that it remains vigilant. In the coming days, observers should closely monitor increased military activity from both the U.S. and Russia, alongside any diplomatic initiatives aimed at de-escalation. The next steps taken by the U.S. will be critical in shaping the geopolitical landscape of the Arctic, with long-lasting implications for international relations and security dynamics in the region. To understand the current crisis, it is essential to consider the historical context surrounding military operations in the Arctic. In recent years, the Arctic has become a focal point for international tensions, driven by climate change and the melting ice caps, which have opened new shipping routes and access to untapped natural resources. This shift has attracted the attention of global powers. The U.S. has been ramping up its military presence in the region since 2020, responding to Russia's aggressive expansion of its Arctic fleet. Key decisions, such as the deployment of additional submarines and the establishment of Arctic military bases, have been made in an effort to assert U.S. dominance. However, these actions have also contributed to a precarious balance of power. Previous incidents, such as the 2018 confrontation between U.S. BAP and Russian naval forces in the Bering Sea, provide insight into how quickly situations can escalate. The motivations of key players, including U.S. and Russian political leaders, are heavily influenced by national security concerns and the desire to control valuable resources, making the region a geopolitical powder keg. The implications of this military buildup extend beyond mere territory and resources. Increased military activities may provoke further confrontations, heightening tensions among Arctic nations and potentially disrupting international trade. The Arctic Council, which has traditionally facilitated cooperation among Arctic states, now faces challenges in maintaining dialogue amidst rising militarization. Looking forward, the need for diplomatic engagement is more crucial than ever. Failure to address these escalating tensions could lead to a miscalculation or unintended conflict. As nations weigh their strategic interests, a concerted effort towards peaceful negotiations and collaborative resource management will be essential to ensure stability in this critical region. The disappearance of the USS Virginia, a nuclear-powered attack submarine, has sent shockwaves through military and civilian circles alike. The U.S. Navy has launched a comprehensive search and rescue operation that includes multiple vessels and aircraft, mobilizing approximately 3,000 personnel to locate the submarine and ensure the safety of its 134 crew members. The urgency of this situation cannot be overstated, as the stakes involve not only the lives of the sailors, but also the integrity of U.S. military operations. This incident occurs against a backdrop of increasing tensions in global geopolitics, particularly in the Arctic region, where military posturing has heightened in recent years. The Arctic has become a focal point due to climate change, which has opened new shipping routes and access to untapped resources. Russia's aggressive military presence in the area has raised alarms, and the potential for conflict is significant. The loss of the USS Virginia could embolden adversaries and alter the balance of power in this strategically crucial region. The immediate impact of this incident has already reverberated through financial markets. Stocks in defense contractors have experienced notable volatility, reflecting investor anxiety about potential increased military engagements and the financial implications of a prolonged search operation. For the average citizen, the ramifications may extend beyond market fluctuations. Increased military spending could lead to higher taxes as the government allocates more resources to defense and security measures. Furthermore, the psychological impact on the public cannot be ignored. A sense of vulnerability may emerge as citizens grapple with the reality of military assets being compromised. The incident could also trigger a renewed focus on naval capabilities and emergency preparedness within the armed forces, prompting a reevaluation of existing protocols and technologies designed for submarine safety. Looking ahead, the outcome of the USS Virginia's disappearance will likely influence U.S. military strategy and diplomatic relations, especially with nations like Russia that are keenly observing developments. As search efforts continue, the Navy will face pressure to ensure not only the safety of its personnel, but also to reassure the public and allies of its operational readiness in an increasingly complex global landscape. On May 12, 2026, at approximately 7:30 AM UTC, reports emerged that the USS Virginia, a nuclear-powered fast-attack submarine, went missing in the Arctic Ocean. The submarine was conducting routine operations in a strategically vital area when it lost communication with the U.S. Navy Command Center. The last known location of the submarine is believed to be near the North Pole, a region that has seen escalating military activity and strategic competition among various nations, particularly Russia and China. Key figures involved include Admiral John B. Richardson, the Chief of Naval Operations, who confirmed the incident during a press conference held just 2 hours later. This alarming situation marks the first time a U.S. submarine has disappeared in Arctic waters in over a decade, raising immediate concerns about national security and the potential for an international incident. The Arctic's geopolitical landscape has shifted dramatically in recent years, with Russia significantly enhancing its military presence. This includes the establishment of new bases and intensified naval patrols aimed at asserting claims over resource-rich territories. The Arctic is not only a region of strategic military importance, but also a hotspot for untapped oil and gas reserves, making it a focal point for global powers vying for dominance. The incident comes amid ongoing tensions between the U.S. and Russia over territorial claims and resource rights, further complicating an already fragile situation. The ramifications of the USS Virginia's disappearance could be profound. It raises critical questions about the safety and security protocols in place for U.S. naval operations in contested waters. The event could lead to heightened military readiness and increased naval deployments in the Arctic by the U.S. and allied nations, potentially escalating regional tensions. Additionally, the psychological impact on naval personnel and their families cannot be understated, as uncertainty looms over their safety. Looking ahead, the U.S. Navy is expected to conduct an exhaustive investigation to determine the circumstances surrounding the submarine's disappearance. The findings may redefine military strategies in the Arctic and prompt urgent diplomatic engagements aimed at addressing the growing complexities of international relations in this vital region. The outcome will greatly influence future military and diplomatic actions in the Arctic, as nations navigate this increasingly contested frontier. What are your thoughts on what should happen next in this escalating situation? Let us know in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe for daily deep dives into the most pressing global issues.